Welcome to That Guy Talks Movies. I'm That Guy Talking Movies, and on this episode, we're going to get into Alien Romulus, the latest in the Alien franchise, directed by Fade Alvarez. Fade. I'm saying his name like Fade Rafa. Fade Alvarez. And I had some expectations going into this, thinking I kind of know what to expect, and then I had that natural sense of hopefully it's not that. Maybe we're going to get more. I don't know. Trailer was kind of dope. We're going to get into it next on That Guy Talks Movies. Spoiler free. Let's go. Welcome to That Guy Talks Movies. I'm That Guy Talking Movies. And before we start this review, quick review on Alien Romulus. If you haven't subscribed yet and you found your way to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I truly appreciate that. And to my loyal subscribers, people who've already been following me and keep up with my videos, truly appreciate you. Let's get into it right now. So, my expectation of this was just from looking at the trailer. And I said this to my friends and people who, when we discussed this, I said, what are we getting here? So this is supposed to take place between the original Alien and Aliens. So I think 1979 and 86. So between those two stories is when this story takes place. From the trailer, it looked what the normal thing. It's like, okay, there's going to be a bunch of people. They're going to be on a ship. They're going to find another ship or some other location. They're going to go to it. They're going to be drawn to it. There's going to be a signal. There's some reason they're going to it. They're going to go to it, and they're going to be met with destruction by aliens. Pretty much the same premise for every Aliens movie. As good as they are, I've said this before on my channel, that it is essentially the same thing repackaged over and over and over again. Doesn't mean they're bad movies. The first Alien is a classic sci-fi horror film that holds its place in time still to this day. I just watched it recently on 4K. And it was a brilliantly done movie. Aliens, James Cameron, the follow-up, absolutely flawless. I mean, just an incredible film. Great action sci-fi horror film. That one was much more action. Alien 3 we'll totally forget about, even though it's my favorite director's first film. We're going to forget about that. And a couple of the other Aliens we're going to forget about. I think there's like a fourth one and maybe a fifth one. I don't even remember. They don't count. But then we go back and we are getting Alien. We got Prometheus and Covenant, which I enjoyed both of them. I don't think the reviews were so favorable for either one of them, but I didn't have a problem with those because at least they explored some sense of backstory, filling in a couple blanks, the whole thing with Prometheus with the engineers and them leaving to go find out who made us, how did this happen, and learning some things there. And then with Covenant, the whole setup with Walter and David and, him genetically modifying and mutating and trying to make the species, the xenomorphs and such. I thought that was interesting. And I thought that movie was pretty horrific. It was really just creepy, that movie. I like the music as well. Which brings us to this film, which is not a follow-up to those films. So we're missing a film, and I was waiting for that film. We haven't gotten it. So Romulus is, I'm talking a lot, but Romulus is just exactly what I thought it would be. A bunch of people, these kids go onto a ship, they're there, and of course they're going to meet their doom. They're going to get picked off one by one, and that's what you're watching. Is it done well? Is it entertaining at times? Yes. I think most of it is a snooze fest until you get to the third act. And again, I'm not going to give any spoilers here. I'm just going to say that I think the more interesting parts of the film happen towards the latter part of it. So maybe 20 minutes left of the film, right? To me, when it feels like this movie's going to close out, they drag it on and they do some other new stuff. And I think that was the most interesting part of the film and the most engaging. It's a visually entertaining film. I like the score. There are some moments of tension, but not a lot. I just think that I'm watching the same thing over and over again. And because as an audience, we're aware, even before any carnage takes place, we're aware that there's an alien, face huggers, blah, 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 face huggers. Aliens, we know what's going to happen, the popping out of the stomach, it's all been done and we've seen it so many times. So unless you're a new generation alien person and you don't know anything about the franchise and you're not already deeply steeped in that, this is going to maybe feel new to you. If you're younger, maybe it's going to be entertaining. If you just want to see carnage and destruction, it's in space, this will be entertaining. I don't think for true Alien fans, this is going to be something where you're like, oh man, my 17-year-old asked me, when I came in, actually my 11-year-old asked me when I came in, would I see it again? I said, well, let's put it like this. I'm probably going to own it on 4K when it comes out, put it in the collection with the rest of the stuff, but it's not something I'm looking forward to owning. It's not something I'm committing to right away and I can't wait to get it. And I'm going to watch it over and over again. I'll give it another watch when it comes out. But anyway, that's my quick review on this. Again, no spoilers. If you're a huge Alien fan, you'll go to the theater and you'll see this, but I hate to say it for an action film, for a sci-fi action film, the fact that I'm telling you, you really don't need to see it in the theater. I actually feel bad saying that. You're not going to be disappointed. You're not going to hate it. But I think as an Alien fan, you're just going to be like, I've seen this play out. There are some new things happening here. I do have a couple complaints too. I mean, and there's actually a shit ton of complaints. There's a lot of stuff that's really ridiculous in the way they handle certain things in the film. The way they've got to do certain things to escape certain situations is really just like bad. And you're just like, really? Are you kidding? Are you serious? Like that's how you're getting out of that one? It's just lame. I also want to touch on something. This is gender specific. I hope I don't piss anyone off with this, but coincidentally, about a couple of days ago, I saw, I don't know if it was Hollywood Reporter or Variety, but there was an article on a statistic regarding the amount of male dominance that still is prominent in Hollywood pictures, right? So these motion pictures are mostly dominated by men, and I think it's 56 or 57%, whatever it was, but male leads, and they're male dominated actors. So there was this article discussing how, you know, with all of the progress made and diversity and all the inclusion and all the things in terms of like, you know, female roles, lead roles, and different things happening, that the men still dominate. So watching an Alien film, you realize it's always the females that dominate. So starting with Sigourney Weaver, right? That first one was what it was. Aliens, Sigourney Weaver, right? And then the character is always a female. Prometheus, right? Dr. Shaw is the last one. She survives. And then in Covenant, it's like a woman. And then, you know, she goes into cryo sleep and Walter is there. But it's always a strong woman fighting the alien, right? Which I admire and I like. It's part of the franchise. It's kind of like the thing. But it begs the question, like, for me, it takes away from the originality and what they could offer in these films. If you're doing them all exactly the same, it's always the same template and it's always a woman. Why is it always a woman? Right? In the alien world, it's not true that the men are taking or leading. It's always female leads. And again, I understood it in the beginning films. And if Ridley Scott and especially James Cameron, who often does strong female lead characters, right? Really strong lead female characters. That's a great thing. But do we have to have every single Alien film is going to be the woman survives and she's the one? Just my take on that. I don't mean that in a way that just have a problem with it. Just I feel like it detracts from the originality of the whole thing. Like it's becoming distracting because I know it's kind of set up that way, right? Like, you know, it's a conscious choice as opposed to let's let this play out. Let's tell a new story. And I think that's what's got me a little weirded out about it. That's what I thought about tonight when I was watching that. But you know, it is what it is. Romulus, not a bad film. It's got its moments. I think there's some really bad moments in it. I think it's the same shtick pretty much throughout the whole film until the last act. And even then, I felt like some of what was going on was a little like, whoa, and I wasn't so, what they did try to do new, I wasn't really feeling. Like, I just wasn't petrified. I wasn't feeling that thing. Anyway, I've spoken enough. Let me know if you're going to see the movie. And when you do see it, come back, leave comments. If you have seen it already, leave comments below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you think I'm just off my loop. As usual, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button on the way out. It really helps the algorithm and all the stuff that happens behind the scenes for YouTube. And I appreciate when you do that. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Stick with me. And I will see you on the next That Guy Talks Movies.